Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're just joining me, this is the Driven Dave channel, and we're going to be driving, sorry I just killed a bug. We're going to be driving my 2022 Tesla Model 3 long range down to Palm Desert, and I'm leaving just kind of north of Los Angeles, Glendale area. So it's going to be 130 miles according to my car GPS. I've gone ahead and charged the car up to 97%. I meant to get it to 100. I just didn't think of it in time. You know, it happens. Forgive me. Yeah, there we go. Using that power. Man, this is a fast car. There were a bunch of big trucks and I couldn't see where I was going. But yeah, this car, it's the long range dual motor, but it has the acceleration boost. And I had a whole organizer on my dashboard and it just flew off from the full throttle. It's a very reasonably quick car. But the point of today's video, I know that like right now it's March of 2025 and used EV prices are low. And I mean low. And so I figure there's probably a lot of you out there that are wondering, like, you know, how many miles is it, you know, can I trust a used Tesla with over 100,000 miles? And this car has over 100,000 miles now. I've got, where is it? 100,518 miles. So we just crossed over into the 6 digits. And so I just kind of wanted to show you kind of what kind of range is left at this point in the battery's life. It's been about 2.5 years since I got the car, and it had 20 miles when I got it. So here we are. And I have had, you know, my fair share of issues with the car, like a lot. But in terms of the drivetrain, it's been pretty fantastic. And the battery has maintained a good amount of its life up to this point. I'll have to check in with, there's an app called Tessie that I use, and I'll put a referral link down in the description if you want to get it for yourself. But it's pretty cool because it'll show you kind of like real-time degradation and, you know, percentage of health remaining, all that kind of stuff. So I think I'm at like 11% degradation, something like that. So at 97%, the car was showing an estimated 308 miles of range. And yeah, now it's 306. But still not bad. Of course, like real world, you're not going to get anywhere close to that. I have a feeling I'm going to use at least half the battery to get down to Palm Desert. But it's still fine. You know, like that's still plenty of range. But just keep in mind, you know, when you see figures like 358 miles when new, that's not real. That's, you know, you would have to drive like 50 miles an hour with a tailwind. You know, I mean, maybe it is possible. I've never actually tried. But, you know, it's like any other car. Like when you drive faster, you're going to go through more fuel, whether that be electricity or gas. So in this video, I just kind of wanted to chronicle the process of going 130 miles in one direction and see what, you know, how that affects the battery, and kind of talk about some of the features that I think make this car a pretty good road tripper. And then I'll also talk about the things that I don't like. So let's start with what I do like. I'm getting onto the freeway. I'm stuck behind a Toyota Prius. And of course, he's not going very fast, but I can very quickly remedy that situation. There. Now I don't have to worry about the Prius. So I really like that, especially when I'm in a hurry. And today is definitely one of those days. I was getting ready and somehow I just ran out of time. So I gotta hustle, and that's okay. I'm gonna make it. It's gonna be fine, but I gotta hustle. So the speed is definitely something that I love still. It never gets old. The acceleration boost, totally worth it. And I would say if you're getting one of these cars used, you know, if you find one for 22 grand or whatever, like it would be worth $2,000 to pop in the acceleration boost. I mean, it just wakes this car up. And I haven't driven the Model 3 Performance, but I can't imagine that it's that much faster than this. So it's really kind of a best of both worlds situation. And especially with the 18-inch tires, you get that bigger sidewall and longer tread life. So I think it's awesome. The other thing we'll talk about is kind of seat comfort. These seats aren't bad. I have been critical of them in the past, and the foam is not super thick. Now, you know, if you're a person of added dimensions, you might not like this car so much. The seats are a little bit form-fitting. So, you know, maybe get on, you know, one of those ride-sharing apps and rent one of these cars for a couple days. See what you think. And that's what I recommend to everybody. Whatever car they're thinking about buying, rent one, see what you think. It really saved me from a huge headache. And I know I'm going to make a bunch of people angry, but I really wanted the Chevy Volt, you know, with a V. And I rented one of those on Turo for 4 or 5 days, and very quickly I realized that car wasn't going to work for me. And I was so disappointed because I loved so many things about that car, but due to my size, it wasn't a good fit, like literally. Now I know someone's going to say, well, I'm big and I'm really comfortable, and that's great. I was not, so that's just how I feel. But you know, that's what I love about the YouTube comments, is it doesn't matter how you feel. But in any case, the seats in this car really quite comfortable. At about 90-ish thousand miles, I had to replace the bottom cushion because I felt like I was sitting on the rails. So about $378 remedied that, and good to go. So the other thing let's talk about, I'm driving manually right now, the old-fashioned way, but all of these Teslas come standard with basic autopilot. So I'm gonna activate that. I just tap down twice on this, and then it'll probably beep at me even though I am holding the wheel. But then the car will just basically drive, and then I can control the speed right here, increase the speed, kind of max it out, because, you know, I'm not going to be able to go faster than the car in front of me. So I usually just max it out. And then I just go as fast as the person in front of me can go. So that makes road trips pretty easy. And, you know, any kind of like extended traffic situation is really great. And the car uses the cameras to kind of identify the lane markings and also, you know, cars stopping and stuff. And it's surprisingly good. Like, it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't like FSD, and it's just a personal preference. I really don't need the car to navigate for me. I've got that covered. It's no big deal. FSD is cool. It's a neat thing to have, but for me, it's not worth the money. And the thing is like really strict about, you know, if you look away for just a second, it'll get super angry at you. Whereas like basic autopilot, you can just straight up cover the camera and it'll still drive. And so I think basic autopilot is the jam. That is my favorite. So it's just my 2 cents. Basic autopilot rules. So anyway, seating position quite comfortable for drivers of many different sizes. It's a bit of a drag. As you can see, I've got the car seat behind me. So I would not be able to sit as comfortably as I'm sitting. If my daughter were behind me, I'd have to move my seat up. So it's a small car that fits a lot of stuff. I think would be good to remember. So if you really need that room for the family, the Model Y is probably the way to go. And you get basically the same interior, but more room. But the Model 3 is just such a good little commuter car and a pretty good highway cruiser. I mean, I've driven this thing 700 miles in a day, no issues. It's really pretty awesome. And the supercharging works great. There are other videos that talk about that. So I'm sure if you're doing the deep dive on Tesla, you know about supercharging, but I think all I'll say is, like, on a trip like this where I'm driving 130 miles one way, 130 miles back, I'll have to make a stop. And that stop is usually going to be about 10 or 15 minutes just to get me enough to get home where I can plug in. If you don't have home charging, you're going to have to fill up more. And, you know, some people are totally cool rocking the no charging at home and they just rely on public charging, which, like, hey, if that's you, like, I salute you. Excellent work. That is not me. And if I didn't have home charging, I would not have an electric car. But, you know, it's just my choice. I think for home charging, that's when you really maximize the use of these cars. If you have to rely on public stuff, you know, you're not going to have as fun a time. I think. But again, that's not me. So you do you, and I'm happy for you. What else was I going to cover? So let's talk about the negatives of kind of road tripping one of these cars. And for me, it's kind of a big one. And I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about all of this, especially, you know, at this point in time, having had the car this long. But for me, I would say, even though it does a great job driving itself on the freeway, no hands, all of that's great. But it's noisy. You hear that? Now this thing is rattling. I have a little thing here, little tray, and that's aftermarket, so you really can't blame the car for that. I just like having this here, and it rattles a little bit, so whatever. But there are some, like, inherent rattles. This tends to make a bunch of noise. The passenger one used to rattle like crazy until I had that fixed. My A-pillar speaker here, it's 75 degrees right now. I think once we get closer to 80, that's going to start going. And I've made 2 attempts to have that fixed unsuccessfly by Tesla. They've canceled on me, and I finally just got fed up and just said forget about it. So that annoys me, and, like, the rear deck lid rattles. But I could even forgive all of that because that changes depending on the road. But it's really like the tire noise and the wind noise. It's not so bad at 61 miles an hour, but, you know, when you're going 70, 75, 80, it's pretty noisy. And when you're riding in this car for an extended period of time, it does get to be pretty draining. So, you know, it's really tempting to want to put in some AirPods with the active noise cancellation or earplugs or something, because it's noisy. Oh, there's my speaker. Oh, it's starting to crackle. Bless. Yeah, we're at 76 degrees now. Oh, I hate that thing. Drives me crazy. But so those are the things that make this kind of like what I would say a lousy road tripper. It's just a lot of noise. The things that make up for it, obviously the autopilot, the stereo is really good. The sound quality is great. You know, shout out to my buddy John out there who was part of the design team on that. Really good stereo. Heated steering wheel is nice. Heated seats are nice. Seats are pretty comfortable. Ride quality's okay. It's a little bumpy and jarring. You could remedy that with some coilovers, but, you know, again, if you're gonna buy one of these cheap, you know, for 20 grand or whatever, yeah, but put some $4,000 coilovers on. Like, you have a nice car then at that point. And, you know, judging by how the battery has performed thus far, you know, I don't really have any concerns about it. I would drive this car another 2 years, you know, without hesitation, just, you know, based on battery life. You know, and I have a friend who has a 2018 with 160,000 miles. So, you know, and his battery's still pretty good. So I think these tend to last longer than people think. I also have a buddy, he's got a 2016 Model S 90D, and he's got 130,000 miles on that. He's 9 years old, no problems. So, you know, I think these batteries are lasting longer than people give them credit for. And I'm also just pontificating that in the next 5 years, you're going to see a lot more third-party options for replacement batteries or battery reconditioning or, stuff of that nature. So, I think the future is fairly bright for these cars, especially because there are so many of them. Now, there's also a lot of uncertainty when you own a Tesla. There are constant price drops, price increases. You never know. They take away the customer referral program. They take away perks. They add perks. You just never know what's going to happen. And especially right now, it's, very divisive time, I think would be safe to say politically. And I certainly don't want to get into any of that on my channel. But the head of the company, has done some things that have made a lot of people upset. So, that's another thing that's kind of bringing values down, which, like, if you're going to buy one, like, that really goes in your favor. The only downside is that, like, we're also at a time when we're seeing a lot of, like, vandalism, to these cars. And it's like, don't vandalize cars. You're not hurting the person that you think you're hurting. You're just hurting somebody who's trying to make ends meet, and driving their car. So I know nobody watching this channel is vandalizing cars, but I'm just saying it's really sad, I think, that people can be so mean to other people. And again, I understand, like, if you have a cause, but I don't understand damaging a stranger's property. Because again, that's not, you're missing the target. Like, don't, I've just seen all these videos of people keying Teslas, and it's just like, man, that is so immature and so terrible. And I might add, a lot of people bought their Teslas when they were, severely overpriced. Why are you looking at me? Anyway, but these cars were really expensive, and then the prices fell. There were government incentives, state incentives, and that just plummeted the value. So, a lot of people are out there upside down on their car loans, and you're just messing up their property and screaming at them to sell their cars when they have no choice. Even if they want to sell their car, they gotta stick it out just to make the payments. So, again, I hate to make this video standing on my high horse or whatever, but it's a thing that's happening, and so I wanted to touch on it. But whenever you're watching this video, I don't know, maybe it's a year or two in the future and everything's better. I don't know. So, you can just fast forward. But anyway, let's just kind of, I'll flip the camera around and we'll kind of talk about an update on the vitals here. All right, here we are. As you can see, traffic is slowing down. Autopilot is handling business. You can see we're down to 89%, and we've gone a whole 26 miles, used 5 kilowatt hours so far, and really quite a good efficiency, 197 watt hours per mile. I mean, I really don't know what that means, even after 2.5 years. But I know that, like, the Model Y gets about 300. So anything under that is pretty good. I think the Standard Range Plus Model 3 averages about 238 watt hours per mile, like usually. It all depends on your driving habits and your tires. So I've got the Nokian 1 all-season tires on this car, and due to that, my average efficiency has gone down. My watt hours per mile has gone up, if you know what I mean. So since I put the tires on, it's been 47,000 miles, and I've been averaging 271 watt hours per mile. Whereas, like, originally I had the I didn't have the Michelins. I know a lot of you are screaming, it's the Michelin Primacy. It wasn't. It was the other one. Oh my gosh. It was the Kinergy GT. Hand cook. Yeah, and I got about 53,000 miles out of those. And I think I was averaging about 245 watt hours per mile, something like that. So those were better. Definitely better. The tread life on these Nokians has been really good. High performance driving, not quite as good as the hand cooks, but decent grip still. and wet traction, far superior. Really, really good. So happy to report those findings, but I am paying for it in the energy usage. So, we've used 6 kilowatt hours now. We're at 88%, showing 278 miles of predicted range, and showing that we'll arrive 53%. And really, that's just fine. It's just fine. So, yeah, so I think I'm going to drive a little bit more, and then we will check in with an update. So I don't know if this is the halfway point, but let's see. I think it's pretty close. So I've changed, I should probably change it back. There's a little trick. If you change your speed to kilometers per hour instead of miles per hour, you get one little benefit from that. If you know, you know. Okay, I switched it back. I've got 57 miles left. Okay, so more than halfway at this point. That's good. And looking at the trip stats, so I've gone 75 miles, used 20 kilowatt hours, 260 watt hours per mile. We're at 66% state of charge, 209 miles remaining. And I have been doing some just quick acceleration just to stay awake. It's just fun. This is fun to drive, even still. So yeah, where am I? I think this is the Redlands. So I'm in the Redlands now. You can see over here. It disappeared right when I figured out where to point. But if you look over back there, I don't know, it's really pretty. The snow-covered mountains. I mean, it's just a gorgeous day. I'm really enjoying just kind of looking around and looking at all the trees in the mountains. And it's just lovely. It's a great time of year, springtime. It's just gorgeous here. 76 degrees. Who could ask for anything more? Oh, look. There you go. There. No. Isn't that funny? I can see it, but you can't. That's why they say the camera never does it justice. Somewhere. Anyway, there's a beautiful snow-covered mountain up there that you can't see. Sorry, friends. Take my word for it. It's fantastic. So anyway, I think I'll probably just roll most of the rest of the way, and we'll talk about kind of final state of charge and all of that when I get to Palm Desert. So stay tuned. Oh, and I just wanted to mention, to break up all the dry kilowatts per hours and stuff. A lot of my friends ask me about accessories for their car. And one of the things that's been really cool about having this channel is I've had a lot of really terrific manufacturers reach out. They want to partner with the channel and send me stuff so that I can evaluate it and make a video. And it's really, really been a lot of fun because I love all the Tesla gear. It's really, really cool. And so it's just been a natural fit for my channel. And so I just wanted to kind of like highlight a couple of the things that I like, that I use every day in my car, and that, if you order using my links in the description, not only will you get some stuff that I'm telling you is going to make your car nicer, but you'll also help support my channel, as I usually have, an affiliate deal with those companies. So this is not sponsored content. And I've already made my videos for these products, so, I'm in no way required to do this. I'm just recommending what I enjoy. So the latest that's been really kind of fun, longtime supporter of the channel, and really just, I'd have to say, kind of my favorite company. Sorry to all you other companies out there that are also wonderful, but VION has just been so wonderful to me, and every single thing they've sent me has been fantastic. So I just got their new phone mount, and I don't know if I can show you this without turning the phone around, but this thing is amazing. And I'll show you kind of up close how it mounts to the door panel. It is so ingenious and so easy to put in and so solid. It's made out of metal. It's beautiful. Get one of those right away. Also, I don't want to show how messy my center console is, but take my word for it, the USB hub is really fantastic. I use it every single day. It helps me fast charge my phone and my iPad and lets me see how many watts I'm pulling. It is super cool. I can't get enough of it. Also, right above my head is the VION roof shade, and they've sent me several iterations of this thing, and it just keeps getting better every time. So get one of those. It'll help you keep cool in the summer and use less electricity as you're driving, and it's super easy to take off if you want to have that open roof feeling. So I just cannot recommend that enough. It is so great, and it's not very expensive. Driven Coupon 10, save you 10%. Everything site-wide from VION. They are fantastic. On top of that, what else? So I don't know if you noticed, but I have white seats now, thanks to Coverado, and they sent me these really beautiful leather seat covers, super easy to put on. The price, I can't remember, it's like $200 or $250, something like that, and that covers all your seats. They had a little bit of extra padding. They're really beautiful. They'll protect your seats. They're awesome. Get some. Also, OG right here, I think this was maybe the first product I got for my car, Test Beauty pillows. I have an Amazon link for that, so I'll get, very little money from that, but still, I will not leave home without my Test Beauty pillows. They are so comfortable and a real game changer, especially if you're a taller driver. Those are great. What else do I love? Yeah, everything that VION makes, I have in my car basically, and including the cabin air filter. Get one of those. Also, Handshow was nice enough to send me a front and rear screen for the car. The rear screen is really cool. I can't really show you right now, but it's right there, and surprisingly affordable, surprisingly easy to install. I had the front screen in, but I just I missed the minimal look, so I took it out. But that one's also really cool. Also, EVOOR sent me a bunch of cool stuff. I've got this neat tray that I love. That works out really well. It does make a little noise because I took the pads off of it, but whatever. It's still great. They also sent me a really great front license plate mount. I love that. Oh, and you'll notice that my car appears to have the Model S plaid wheels, the 21-inch arachnid wheels, and I don't. I have the 18-inch stock wheels, but I don't know why I always blank on their name. They've been a really good supporter of the channel. I can't remember. Look in the description. I'll have them linked. They are the coolest wheel covers out on the market, in my opinion, and they are not that expensive. I think around $200, and they just pop right on. And wow, how cool! I've already had maybe 5 personal friends order those just because they see my car and go, wow, those are really cool. Yes, they are. Get you some. They are awesome. And yeah, I can't believe how awesome they look. And when you think for $50 per wheel, you can make your car look like a Model S plaid, basically, that is cool, especially on a Model 3. Love it. There's something else I was going to tell you. I got this cool steering wheel cover. I may take it off because I don't feel the heated steering wheel as much, but I do. It feels so nice. And they also sent me this cool suede dash cover and also the cool suede covers here. So I recommend that too. I think that was test launch. I can't remember. Again, I've had so many wonderful partnerships that sometimes I forget who sent me what, but they're really great. Oh, and another OG supporter of the channel, Basenor, they sent me these amazing 3D mats, which, after almost 2.5 years, they're still holding up great, and they really help me keep the interior of my car clean, especially because the interior of my car is always dirty. So these mats really help a lot, especially if you notice the Model 3 comes with just garbage carpet. So these are really great. They're easy to vacuum, they're easy to hose off. When it's raining, I really don't worry about getting my feet in the car. Really, really great mats. Can't recommend them more. I'll have a link to that in the description as well. Basenor also sent me some other cool stuff. They sent me some really nice leather seat back protectors, which I don't have on right now because I've got these Cover Auto entire seat covers. But those work out really well. They also sent me a really cool little trash bag that I'm still using. That is really neat. They also sent me some all-weather mud flaps. Those are great. So anyway, use my link, order from Basenor. They're really terrific. Great company and really great products. Wow, you see that mountain? There you go. Anyway, so that's that. We'll get you back to your regularly scheduled programming. Okay, here we are. Last leg of the journey. We are here in wherever this is, Palm Desert or something. I don't know. Near Palm Desert. There are all these towns. They're all just kind of connected. Palm Springs? No, I don't know. But I'm almost where I need to be. So I figured this would be a good spot to wrap up the video. Final figures for this drive. 131 miles. 236 watt hours per mile efficiency. So really, that's impressive. This must be mostly downhill because I was definitely like cooking. We were cooking. I was able to shave some time off of this trip and I got here fast. So very happy with that. Car really performed beautifully. Luckily it's not raining, so we don't have any water leaks. Long story. But yeah, so far so good. Really good trip. Really beautiful weather. It's 82 degrees out here. And yeah, really looking forward to spending the day here. So yeah, so I hope this video was, somewhat informative to you, especially if you're thinking about getting one of these, or you're just curious like what one of these does on a little longer distance kind of drive. I mean, I wouldn't exactly call 132 miles like a long road trip, but it's a decent sized distance. And we're arriving with 48% state of charge right now and an estimated 152 miles remaining. So I've got plenty of battery to get around town. Sentry mode will use some of that juice while I'm parked and working. But yeah, plenty of juice. I'll be able to supercharge later today, maybe tomorrow. But I'm going to see there may be some level 2 charging available where I'm headed in a super secret location. So I'm going to do that. But anyway, friends, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, drop them down below. Or if you just want to say hi, I'd love to say hi back. So, please help me out, circulate the video. It helps the channel. Buy the stuff in the description. That also helps me continue to bring more content for you. And, it's really a treat to get to do this. So I really appreciate all the support out there. Thank you for watching. And until next time, stay driven.